Okay, good morning. This is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. It is Thursday, the 25th. Fun if you'll just take a minute to read that. You can lose your ass trading futures. Bottom line, right? Just have a plan, have a risk management plan. Don't lose your money trading. Get a plan that works. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. So, jumping in, let's just get the profiles fixed up real quick. Let's see where we have these. Where in the world? There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. This is the one where I just set the highs, the lows, all that good stuff, right? So let's go to the end. Rework my desk. It's funny when you rework your monitors. I can kind of throw you a little bit. Okay, so we have, as of now, a Globex high right over here. We have a Globex low. Oh, it's locked. Let's unlock it. Globex low, surprisingly and shockingly, right at a prior day's low. These all go. This we lock. Then let's see. This goes, and we'll take this. And we will move this for the high of the day yesterday. You'll still notice, so the first clue here is going to be getting above this last half hour bar right there. You got to get above 19,306 to recover any of this area up above. This is a hard break, guys. If you haven't been around for a while, let me tell you, this is a really, really hard break. It should not be taken lightly in any way, right? I don't think we go back to business as usual. I do think we go back to big balance ranges with a downward overall bias, but I don't think we skyrocket back up. It's got some work to do. I could be wrong, just a guess. And I'm open to both sides of the trade, long and short, but on process. So let's see here. We got value area high. Value area low. And prior day's low, which we will grab this again, move. Here's yesterday's low, Globex high, Globex low, value area high, and then the all-important end cap single prints, which look like this when you collapse the chart. Right, this is going to be a pretty important area when we get to it. Don't see much else there to worry about. See if anyone has anything for me. VIX is 18 today, yeah. So the interesting thing was the VIX was super high, but the 15 tick had all the trades on it, Randy. I thought that was super interesting trade-wise, right? And then this is this here, let's see, that was the 24th. All of this is poorly auctioned through here, and then this is Dalton's Gap fill, so we'll change that color yellow. And dashed, and that's really all I've got. We've got the same levels below. If we get down another 500 points, I'll just deal with whatever else is below here. So those are my areas from just the day time frame standpoint. This should go orange. Well, here I'm pretty relaxed because my trade plan today is the same as my trade plan from yesterday, right? Which is I'm looking for the arrows and the plus signs and just taking it nice and slow. There should be some good paydays today. Usually when you have a trend day down, you get balance the following day, just like we have overnight. So I'm looking for a variation on balance. Lifts up should get sold. Lifts down should get bought. I'm not looking for straight down or straight up, and I'm expecting 100 point plus ranges, right? So that's really important. Don't get overly aggressive on a 30-point lift, right? Remember, we're going to have 100-point ranges. Let it breathe. So let's print this. So this is in the room. Okay, now let's take this chart. Off she goes to the right. So how are we going to list out this chart? I still haven't quite figured that out. I'll think about it in a minute. Let's go to the other 30-minute chart and see where we are coming into the day. This is the one I'm actually more interested in. So for me, it's going to work like this. It's just erasing lines. Why aren't the lines erasing? Let's see. Probably because I've locked some of them. So let's go and delete all. Yes. 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 I know why I did this, because I didn't want to lock and unlock as I went through the day yesterday. And this will actually stay, this goes. And so it works like this now. So this is the high, right? I'm going to lock that. Because it's way away. I don't want to have to keep redrawing it. 2, lock. 3, lock. 4 is already locked. 5, lock. 6, and this actually becomes, there's a little zone here. We'll leave it as is, but that's how it's going to look. Right click, lock. That's where we are right now. Lock, and then, oh, we're not there right now. This is a big one right here. Okay, then overnight, right, this becomes important. This becomes important. And then this has become important because you had a double top there. They're trying to break out. Obviously, a trap back underneath comes back in. And then for the open, we have this. And then obviously the hot, this becomes, creates a little zone. And then this up here, right? Underneath. The way I figure out the underneath is I go standard line, and I look at what's back to the left. Okay, so I'm just going to come up. What number is that? 19,000 basically. So we're going to have to go back to June to find that. Right down here. Okay, so that's my line. So all I'm going to do is this, right? So that I keep these locked. So now I know where to look. I know where the stops are sitting, right? Because we're such short-term traders, we want to know where these things are popping off, right? Lock. So see this right here? I know that was a major resistance point, so I want to put 2 of them there. So there's one on top of the other. I'm not going to go back and look while I'm trading on it, but I'll know, oh, double lines, that was an important area. And then each of these below, right? See when you start one-timing to the downside? So if you start one-timing, excuse me, to the upside, this becomes the important one, right? So you do line width, make it big. So you're like, hey, that's a big point, right? Lock it. And then the others are just, okay, and then when you see them all strung together like this, bam, 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 you can instantly go, oh, we must have been one-timing through that area. Because the next place that's going to come up for you, it's going to be that right there, that right there, that right there. So why is this important, right? Let's lock all this, then we'll leave it alone. That brings us down to 18,880. I'll have to go back through and do it if we get below there today. Wish you could just lock all the blinds. Oh, got them. Perfect. I get this one too? Nope. Locked drawn. There we go. So now when I come over here, right? So a couple of things. I can see, even if I look from last night, right? When we took out this 30-minute low, see when we took it out and we got the rotation back up. And where did we get the rotation to? First to the top of the half hour, next half hour, next half hour, and then somewhere right in here is where it found exhaustion and moved. But the advantage to that is I'm over here and I go, I want a short, right? My eyes will drift all the way up here and start looking up here, which means if you look at it, that is 50 points of area. I'm just not going to pull the trigger until I get those 2 points to align. I know the rotations have gone wide, so I have to adjust what I'm looking for. Okay, so that chart is giving me my primary chart of where I'm trying to decide where to trade. Okay, close, minimize this, move this over. This is going to get stuck over here, tiny, tiny, tiny. Hold on 1 second, push that in. This one's going to go here. And then this one will come over here. Those are the charts I need. Right click, reset. And we'll go from there. Econ wise, I did not look, but I will right now. We have nothing. We had durable goods orders. We just have nothing. That's all there is to it. There's no Fed speakers. Oh, sorry. ECB Lagarde speaks at 10 a.m. I will need to set an alarm for that. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 9:55 a.m. ECB's president speaks at 10 a.m.
I set you.
Okay, cool. What are we trading, right? We want to be up at the edge to touch first, and then we're looking for our signals, right? For example, now that we got up here, I know that it closed. See how they're trying to hold this? Right, just drawing nice, simple lines. Close below that point of control probably leads us lower, right? Arrow down, stuffed. All right, I'm already tuning my brain to what I'm looking for. There's some more complex trades, but look, that's as simple as it gets, right? Are there some stops? Sure, there's a stop. I was right at 808. There's a stop, all right? Plus sign up, plus sign down, plus sign stuffed. Whichever side you close on, that tends to be the way that we're going to go. A close above here. Probably going to hearken some guys to push up. We're way down, right? There's no news to keep driving us directly in one way. Look for two-sided trades. If you get stopped, the worst thing you can do, there's two things that are really harming traders, okay? The ones that are struggling, they are guessing which way the market's going, right? First problem, okay? They are guessing which way the market is going, right? Secondly, once they get stopped, they're freaking out. There's no need to freak out on a stop because it is part of the process. It is okay. It is normal. People who, longer term, where they're struggling is in the first 30 minutes. Sometimes the first 30 minutes is home run territory, right? The problem is almost no one knows when to turn it off. My suggestion is you leave it alone. You know, it's interesting. I was listening to Top Step TV this morning as I was preparing. And they were talking about some guy who made $30,000 yesterday, right? Think about it, $30,000, one account, not multiple accounts, not like 10 stacked accounts, $30,000, one account, all his, free and clear, right? And at the end of the day, he ended up negative, right? Now, how can that be? You can ask, how can that be? And I can answer right now. He got lucky on his entry, and then he tried to replicate that entry 100 times because he thought he had it figured out, right? And it goes over and over and over and over again where he's getting crushed trade after trade. They're talking about it. He's like, we can just watch it. It goes 30, 25, 20, 19, 15, 12, negative on the day, right? After he made $30,000. This market will make you respect it, okay? And if you respect it, it'll actually hand you the money. It'll go, here you go, right? So we're working as a team to find better locations for swing trades using the 75-cent chart, right? But we don't have it yet. We're working on it. We're not there, okay? But the algos are improving every day. They're getting better and better and better and better, right? Just let it come to you. I will do my very best to call the trades on process and take them with you. The range is too big. If the range is too big for you, cut your trade size, right? If it's too fast for you, cut your trade size so you can get used to it, right? But do not hand anybody else in this market your hard-earned money. It's my strong suggestion, okay? Don't do it. Y'all have worked too hard on your funded accounts. Y'all have worked too hard on your personal accounts. Don't give it back because the market goes a little haywire for a couple of days. It's just going to reset to a new level and then go up and down because that's what the damn thing does. It resets to a new level and it goes up and down. That's what it does. Okay? So let it do it. On process. Decide whether you're trading the 15 or the 25. Decide now. You didn't miss a trade in the first half hour because if you don't trade the first half hour, you didn't have anything to miss. Right? Know your time frame and trade it properly. Now I'm going to open the floor to questions before we get started. Anyone, anything? Joshua, I see you were a busy little camper last night. It looks like you had a nice night too. Wow. The modified White Cross Blue Shield trade is awesome. That's all there is to it. Arrow down. I'm not taking this trade. 25 tick, arrow down, stuffed. Arrow down, small lift so far. Again, I'm not taking any of these, right? I'm just pointing out where they are. I'm not trading the first half hour. Pretty easy for me. IB high, IB low, getting set. Coming down into overnight unfair pricing at around 19, let's call it 130, 125. That's a nice little 100-point ripper right out of the gate to the downside. Again, if I was trading, I would look for the 25 tick to be my 24 tick to be my guide. Coming up to backside test yesterday's low. different with that. Yes, yesterday's low. Again, just way too fast for my happy self. Parallel plus signs right here. We're pretty close. Attempting a double bottom there. Apex trap on the 15. No signal to take there of any kind, really. Impulse move. Dominant wave up. Back to backside test yesterday's low. Watch for the trap back in. Rejection, initial rejection off. Pretty fast. Plus sign stuffed. You get above that plus sign. Potential rip to the upside. Potential. I'm looking on that 24 tick there. Again, no trades for me. So whatever they want to do, that's their prerogative. Testing IB low. No guessing. On process every step of the way. We'll get our share of signals. Back below, the time below IB low again. Arrow down on the 24, on the 15. Plus sign down on the, for revisit. There's a head and shoulders there, if you can see it quite clearly. Attempted head and shoulders. Failed. Wow. Those guys' fun lasted all of like 30 seconds on the reversal, didn't it? You know, someone just went, oh, I had it. Again, just nothing you could do when it rips 50 points in a second, right? Like literally that was less than 30 seconds. Okay. Oh, look, Joshua. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. Fast market. It's going to be hard to align everything. Just FYI. Trap back in. That's trapped back in second time. The shorts are going to have a hard time with that, hypothetically. All of that was just too fast for me to trade. I mean, I could sit there and go, oh, look, you got it. I can guarantee you, impossible to catch. The computer could have caught it. Better, Joshua? Good. Backside test of the low there. Yesterday's low. Pushing. Press underneath. Nervous Nellies, nervous Nellies. Those are some quick moves, guys. Back to IB low. Again, the 15 tick is pretty much untradeable. I don't care what you say about, oh, it worked or it didn't work. No signal for the turn. It's just so fast. Into the IB low. Like I said, I've got no desire to even try to race against this. It's just not my cup of tea. In unfair pricing, I have 19078 as the next level here from the overnight to look for. Add the plus sign over here. Again, it's so fast. I'm not expecting anyone to cover it. I'm just going over the levels. I can't get them when it's this fast, so that's okay. You have to have a computer. Dude, it's so wickedly fast. 19080 is what I'm looking for. Or lower. Test below. Got above the arrow down. See if they use that for support at all. That was the first one I was actually able to see and go, ah, I see it. Back inside Ivy low. Target is obviously that 19165 back up to the upside. Everyone doing okay because this is some pretty fast, brutal stuff. That's why I suggested you skip completely the first half hour. Yep. I agree, Brian. Just keep your capital safe, dude. It'll pass. There's just no liquidity here because people are unsure. We may actually have to go to a 35 tick to make the adjustment, but we'll see. It'll settle down after 9:30, and we'll be able to trade it just fine. You have a little head and shoulders forming here off the 24 tick. So brutally fast. Dude, just straight dropping like a rock. I can tell you right now, I cannot trade this fast to market. And I'm pretty good. Broke Globex low. Next level's 35. Again, can't get over a 5-minute bar. We just hit a big sell button. Good job, guys. Just staying calm. Free falling. Nobody wants this shit. Into those 30-minute levels. That's where it found its support. See where they overlapped? I mean, it's a reversal. And again, I'll be taking my cues off the... Like, I can't trade this. It's too fast when we go 43 to 20 in 2 seconds. I can't even manage my risk properly, so... As much as I love the algo, yeah. Marginal new low. Obviously looking for an impulse move up. I'm going to miss probably the initial move unless it happens much later. To the long side. They're just crushing it again to the downside. Next levels are 95, 87. Or some kind of structure to get reversed and slow the pace. And see some absorption slow down. Again, I would give this a little bit longer before I started trading. What I want to see is, can I take a trade? Do it with the micro. Can you get the order in, watch the trade, and have the market adjust? Right now, I absolutely cannot. And I may have to work on these ES algos pretty damn quick if this keeps up. Because that's just some brutal fast market stuff right there. 03 to 38 in under a minute. So don't blow up your accounts. This won't be forever, but this can cause you some significant damage very, very quickly. Potential head and shoulders here off the 14, obviously. Looks like they're saying no sir to the Head and Shoulders. Into the next 30-minute levels, which is why you're getting a response here. You get above that 09, you probably can go. But this is free fall right now, so I suggest you let it free fall. Again, I'm going to say it again. This is free fall. Let it free fall. That 18,961 is that big level I had. Looks like we're going to come right up on it. So this is how you're not going to get a bunch of stops, right? Because you already know the PA doesn't support the price action, right? One stop up here if you were looking for the long at 856, which would be a little fruity in my mind, but that's all right. People are fruity sometimes. Plus sign with a yellow square, that's usually pretty good in most circumstances. Usually. Right off the bottom right here. Verified now. You wouldn't want underneath it, that's for sure. Sit down. Oh, you want to stand? Okay. Mic check. Mic check. So yeah, just brutality on the fastness. We're in supernova. I'm watching both markets, but man, it's just some super fast stuff there. Back to the lows of the day. New low of the day. That 18,963 is pretty important. That's an arrow down stuffed on the 15. Too fast for me. I don't want to trade in this. I don't like what I'm seeing in terms of the speed. I know I'll miss the turn. That's okay. If I get it, that's great. This is an important level. This 18,962, very important. And they blew right through it like butter. See if they recapture that 18,962. Will become important. But there's some panic at the disco for sure. Yeah. So if we just control our responses to this, we should be good, right? Don't try to guess the bottom. Stay on process, etc., etc. That's a verified arrow down on the 32, so hypothetically you close above it, and you should get a lift. You'll notice there's another one right there at 18,962. Next level's down here, 18,898. No, I've got nothing, man. I just can't. It's too fast for me, Brian. I don't want to get smoked. Like, this is one place where, like, if you don't get your stopping in time, you don't get your size right, anything, it'll just so smoke you so fast. I'm not. Oh, a 32 tick? Not yet. I can try. Let's see if that slows it down. The plus signs will be wrong on this. So don't use them. When you said loaded, I was like, why am I loaded at 32? Got it. Here we go. There. A little bit slow on the 32, which is what I figured. There, that's better. So here, I'll leave this. I'm going to small down this. Slide this over here. So all I did is change it to 32. The plus signs will not work on the 32, just FYI. These plus signs are pretty much meaningless. But there, that slows it down a bit. Is that easier on you, Brian? You got to adjust your stop size too. At least it puts it in context easier, right? And guys on YouTube, I appreciate you joining. If y'all want to join us in the room on a regular basis, this is how you do it. Right there. Just pause it, go back and look at the recording, email me here. $100 for the first month, the best deal I've ever offered on this algo. So there you go. And I'll be muting out. I'll leave the video for recording purposes.